you are live.
Hey everybody, it's David Clubbs here at Regulator Marine again. We're coming to you live on Instagram. I'm here with Bobby Layden, our camera guy. I'm standing on a 34 today. We're going to do some Seakeeper live conversations with me and my old buddy Brook Stevens, the Seakeeper. He'll be joining us soon. Hope everybody's doing well. We're still social distancing. Some things are opening up, but give everybody a little bit of time to come online here. But as you can tell, we're at the end of the shift. It's quiet in here. It's really the only time Bobby and I can come to you so you can hear us. But we got a shop full of boats. This 34 is getting put together sort of in the back of the shop because we got a line full of product in front of us. So it's sort of unconventional to be putting the deck and the console and Seakeeper in back here at the door. But that's how it's worked out, and it actually gives you a nice shot of what all we're working on today. So, Brooke, you there with us yet?
Not yet.
No, Brooke's still working on it. So, like I said,
on the way.
Yeah, he's on the way. He's going to join us. So this boat's still got floor paper on, so we got our shoes and all that because we're the floor's protected. We're talking about the Seakeeper. You can see this boat with a console. We've already got the Garmin's in, some pre-wiring, a lot of wiring left to do. This boat's got Hellmaster, air conditioning all here. So how about it, Brooke? You there with us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, there he is. Hey, Brooke, you got your hat on, I hope.
I do.
Yeah, you
I
got
do.
a haircut in months like me, so looking shit.
Yeah, haircut, human contact, and quarantine. You know what I mean, man? So doing my best.
That's it, too. Well, it's good to see you again, man. I've known you for about 10, 15 years. I think about 15 years now, so always good to partner up with you. And again, we're partnering up here at Regulator doing Seakeeper and these regs. The Seakeeper comes standard on the 41. It's been great. And now you can get the optional Seakeeper on the 31 and the 34. We're on 34 today, Brooke, like you know. So this is our little SK2 sitting in the frame. Like I was telling everybody before, Brooke, this boat's sort of, it's kind of in the back of the shop because we got a bunch of product in front of it. So we set the Seakeeper back here. And what we do inside the laminate, as you know, Brooke, because you designed this with us, we got substantial reinforcement down here where this frame mounts. So we really bulk up the connection of the frame to the deck, and then, of course, the deck to the string or the structural grid is really enhanced when we get a Seakeeper. And that's to contain the loads that this gyro generates, because there's a lot of force going on to keep this boat stable against all the waves. So, of course, we got the wiring harness. This goes for the, this is the relay for the saltwater washdown, the saltwater cooling pump. Right next to Bobby here is the heat exchanger, because you guys are smart enough to do a glycol heat exchange, so we're not pumping salt water through the unit, protects the unit longer. It's just got a couple of sinks to replace for maintenance. It's really a great system. This is going to be the supply line from the pump that sits back there in the lazarette, hooks up to the heat exchanger, and then this is the water line coming out of the heat exchanger. So, and then of course we got the main power feed to the unit itself. So again, we make this bracket, we bolt it down to a reinforced deck. The control cable here runs down through the deck, and you'll end up with a Seakeeper control display right here. Monitors all the features of the unit, turns it on, turns it off. You can see spool up, battery voltage, temperatures, everything. So it's really informative. And you can also tie it into the Garmin's. So of course, on the 31 and 34, this sits underneath the tackle center, right? So I actually just stole the tackle center from our prefab guys a few minutes ago. And right there in the big opening in the back is where you see would be our normal tackle center, tackle drawers and all that. So that comes out for great service to the unit. And then, of course, the doors on the side come out. And that's how you access daily service or just inspections. And then, of course, the batteries. Because what you don't see on the unit now is there's going to be a battery here and a battery there. Because what's great about these little units is they're DC, right? So you don't have to carry around diesel. You don't have a generator. You don't have the additional noise. It's silent. It runs along with the engines. So all DC operated. The 300s, we got no problem supplying power to this and everything else on board. So, Brooke, what can you tell us? I mean, we've been doing these things for quite a while. We got over 90% stability on our regulators.
Yeah, I mean, you covered the bases there. I mean, you want to have a solid foundation attached to the hull structure properly. The raw water side, the 12-volt units, the 2 and the 3, and the upcoming Seakeeper 1 will are all 12-volt units. And when it comes to the raw water side, they'll only pull the raw water when they need it. So it's not a constant flow like some of our larger units. And aside from the raw water, like you mentioned, just electricity, with the engines on, it'll run solely off the alternators for the most part. And the battery power with the engines off will keep the unit running from there.
Yeah, sure. So when we start them up, typically we try to recommend we start up while you're still plugged into the shore power, because we do put a 100 amp battery charger in here, which will sustain full ramp up amperage, right? Because it pulls the most power when it's spooling up. How long does this usually take to spool up in your experience, Brooke?
Well, you can begin to use the unit and stabilize the boat usually at around a half hour or so. You can unlock the unit or allow it to precess or function and stabilize the boat, and it'll continue to climb to its full rated RPM. And depending on the size of the unit, it can be 40 minutes. It can be closer to an hour on some of our largest systems. I hinted at the new Seakeeper 1. That's going to be our quickest spool up to date. You'll begin to stabilize the boat after about 15 minutes with that unit. So there is a little bit of downtime, but typically if it's one of the first things you fire up when you get to the boat, by the time you get to any exposed waters there where you're going to need it, right, it'll be really good for you.
Yeah, when I ran the 34 out of Lauderdale a couple years ago, I think we had a boat there at the show for you guys to use as a demo, and I went down a few weeks later, picked the boat up, and I ended up leaving the dock. The yard we had it at left all the batteries on. I had to start the engines off the battery charger, and I just left with it. Good luck, right? So was spooling up with dead batteries. By the time I got to the inlet, she was already spooled up, ready to go. Like you say, once you're around the dock, you don't have anything to stabilize. But when you're offshore, that's when you really feel it. And so right after that, we were at a dealer, and he was doing a kind of dealer days thing, right time, right place, I guess. And the customer wanted to take the 41 out. So we went out. It was about a 3 to 4, but the tide was just right, so the inlet was real snotty. And we went out there, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think I need a Seakeeper." I was like, "Look, let's go out, let's do the test, And you actually sent me the tool where I could show the roll rate reduction. I put the gyro, the phone app up here, and right, on the 41 we got over 90% reduction, which was phenomenal. So we said, yeah, okay, let's go in the inlet. We turned beam 2 in the inlet, rolling around. Turned the Seakeeper on with a display, turned into a parking lot. I mean, he was just about sold right there. So we got like you mentioned,
yeah, it's something you definitely have to feel to believe, I think. And if there's anyone that would like to experience it, we have demo boats available. We can try to set that up for you. But yeah, it's really getting out there and experiencing it to really get a appreciation for what we do here. And like you mentioned, over 90% roll reduction. There for a while we weren't quite there, but now we're there on a lot of installations, especially on center consoles. Right, the DC powered stuff, with these, higher dead rise, more aggressive, faster hauls, we're able to achieve that more often than not. So yeah, it's pretty phenomenal to feel it, and it's like night and day.
Yeah, it really is. So for those that are just joining us, David Clubbs here with Brook Stevens, Seakeeper. We're live from the factory. Well, Brook, you're up at home, I guess. But I'm here at the factory on 34, back in the shop. We're just talking about a Seakeeper installation and how great the partnership is with us and Seakeeper. The development has gone on. Brooke and I have known each other for about 10, 15 years, and it's just been tons of innovation along the way on both parts. It's exciting to see us come together and build new product with new features. And just like you hit on, Brooke, these boats are running fast all the time. We're trying to be that great regulator ride, going fast, hitting into it offshore. And then when you're bottom fishing or fishing a rig, or you click the Helmmaster on and you're rolling around, man, if the Seakeeper's runner, you select that option, it's almost like standing on a sidewalk. It's amazing. You can't explain it until you ride it. So I think just this past year's Big Rock, everybody took a lay day except for a guy with 34 regulator, and he had the confidence to go out. The only boat fishing the tournament because it was so nasty out, but he had a Seakeeper. He came in and fished. He had a good day. He came back, and you just don't hear about that very often, unless you get a solid boat with solid systems. And Seakeeper is a prime example of what we're doing. So
yeah, he had some great comments to Randy over the radio that day. So that was cool to hear. I don't think he'll ever go back.
You were in the tent there that day, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some fun stuff. So, again, 34 reg, it's an option. The 34 regulator, it's an option. It's standard on the 41. You guys are coming out with some new product. Tell us about that little Seakeeper 1, Brooke.
Yeah, that'll be our next introduction here. We'll be shipping it next month, hopefully starting the first week of June. And it'll be our smallest, lightest unit to date. It'll spool up super fast. It'll handle boats, 20 to probably 30 feet in length. What's nice about it in terms of, ease of installation is that it's a flush mount unit, so the sphere doesn't dip down below where it
You
mounts.
can get rid of the bracket. It bolts right. It's almost got its own integrated bracket. When are you going to do that on the Seakeeper 2 and 3, man? Help me out a little bit.
We'll work on it for you, buddy.
Yeah,
But yeah, we have some pretty cool pictures. It's almost like installing a Yeti cooler. You just obviously more structural. But
right.
You could actually bond a plate down to the deck and basically bolt the unit right to that plate versus essentially having to build stringers or use what we call our structural grid and bond that down, which is essentially a set of stringers. So yeah, the one's going to be pretty cool, and we knocked a lot of the height out of it. It's 15.7 inches, I believe, high. So we can fit under a lot of leaning posts, under seats, down below deck, and more applications than previously. So yeah, we're excited about it.
I saw you test boat at the show, and it was a real impressive result. The usual test. I think we even had an Instagram teaser where we had people rocking a 31 and or 34 on the 34 on the show there, and you get people hanging off the gun trying to roll it. And we've done it here when we do our water days, and the guys in the factory go out, we run boats and show everybody, gives it's a good morale booster for the team. We'll take them out. What's it Seakeeper all about? Because even our guys here, some of them don't understand the functionality of it until you experience it. So, we get everybody going back and forth on the side of the boat, and I'm like, all right, y'all ready? Click them. And it's just boom. It's just silent. It's a parking lot. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's great for fishing. It's great for being offshore all day. When you run, 60, 70 miles, and then you're going to be out there fatigued, the noise, the sun, all that. At least you're not dealing with a moving. You come home, you're not so exhausted. You have more fun fishing. Your slogan is "Fight the fish, not the sea," right? So, or not the roll. I forget what it is. It's true. It does work. So, Brook, tell us a little about service on the service and maintenance is pretty minimal generally. I mean, give us a kind of quick rundown on that.
Yeah, real quick. I see some questions coming in about the differences
we can take questions first. Go ahead and take
between
questions.
the units. We title the units basically by gyro horsepower, if you will, or really it comes down to angular momentum. If you equate that to outboards, for instance, it's the horsepower. So the one is putting out 1,000 Newton meters of angular momentum.
Oh man, now you get deep.
Yeah. But the 2 is 2,000, the 3 is 3,000, and we go all the way up to our Seakeeper 35. And the 35 is 35,000, and that'll handle a vessel potentially up to 100 tons, a 100-foot boat. So as we come down in size, we're able to practically stabilize a lot smaller of a boat with the Seakeeper 1, of course. Some keys to what we do, we really what's going on inside of that sphere you see there mounted on the regulator is we're spinning a flywheel inside of that encapsulation at a very high rate of speed, and we pull a vacuum so there's no air friction in there, so we can spin the thing using very minimal power. It's very quiet, and a lot of the key ingredients are protected by the vacuum and by the sphere, so you're not getting any sort of the saltwater environment inside of there. And as that sphere tilts, it basically pushes and pulls where it's gimbaled and throws right angle torque down through where it's gimbaled and knocks out.
Right here, right? So these are your gimbal bearings, and of course that gets transferred to the frame and to the structure we designed in the boat.
Yep. And we try to size accordingly. If we get the hull specs from the builder or designer, and we can size accordingly, and we try to achieve that high level of stabilization with each installation. So jumping back to service, there really isn't a whole lot to do regularly, especially on the DC powered units. The larger units, they have a little zinc anode there on the heat exchangers, but the DC powered units do not. Really our screen will tell you if there's any sort of alarms, if it's not getting enough raw water, for instance, and heats up, it'll tell you. You know, just like anything else on a boat, you want to try to keep it, you know, clean and dry and out of the salt environment as best as you can. But there under the leaning post, it's pretty sealed in. I don't think you're seeing a whole lot of, you know, corrosion and things like that on the regulator installs, because they do such a good job of where they put it and how they've engineered it into the boat. So, yeah, but we have servicing dealers all around that offer up services. You know, maybe after, you know, a season you want it looked at, you know, we can set that up and just make sure everything looks good and everything like that. But on the display, it'll tell you if anything isn't right, and then you can give us a call and we'll help you out.
Right, that's right. Usually you can go through it and navigate it yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory, very intuitive display. It looks nice, and like I said, your dealer service network's phenomenal. You guys are doing, you're taking old boats and refitting them off on your own, and keeping up with our customers and everything that goes on with a driver. You guys are, you know, just about worldwide support now. So we really appreciate all that help. I mean, you said we had a few questions from some fans out there. What we got?
Yeah, I've just been trying to pick them up as we've gone. You know, the question about weight. The Seakeeper 1's is going to be about 365 pounds, I want to say. And then on up, the 2 is about the 2 is about 414 pounds. The 3 is about 550. So usually the unit's about 1.5 to 2% overall displacement of the hull in terms of weight. So
we got a 2 here, right? So a little over 400. By the time we do the batteries, the frame, the extra reinforcements, we're generally adding about 600 pounds to the 34 and the 31 because it's the same unit. So
right.
You know, we take that into account on the float line and LCGs and performance and all that. So if you look at our performance bulletins, a lot of times we have them with the Seakeeper. In fact, our current performance bulletin for 31, 34, our boat's equipped with a Seakeeper. So just like you said, it's a small percentage point on the boat. It really makes a big difference in the ride. You're hardly really giving up any performance for it. And it just gives us so much more confidence and capacity to do more things on this boat.
Yeah, and what's great too, you know, it's a piece of equipment that benefits everybody on board as well. It's not just something for the captain. It's not, you know, your latest and greatest joysticks and things that the captains benefit from. I mean, everybody that's going to be out.
We like our joysticks. We like our joysticks.
I like the joysticks too, but
I've seen you drive a boat.
Yeah. Oh, I need it. But
no, you're right. That's a good point, Brooke. It does. It makes the whole experience better for everybody, whether you're up front and the back fishing, whatever it is. It's a great feature. It benefits everybody. So.
Absolutely.
You got any more questions? We're on the call? I can't see the question, so I think you can see it. You're probably busy.
I think Kelsey's been fielding some as well, you know, via text. So if I missed any, I apologize.
Definitely for some questions, private message, you know, us at Regulator, those at Seakeeper. And again, thanks for joining us. We're here on 34, back in the shop at Regulator up in North Carolina. Social distance and all that. We're still building boats. It's taking a little more time, but we're getting it done. Bobby and I are here on the back of a 34. Just did a cool Instagram video with a Seakeeper installation, the partnership that Seakeeper and Regulator have. I think we're going to post this. Probably going to post this. So if you didn't catch all of it, tune back in and throw your comments out there. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Brooke, hey, man, it's good seeing you again. It's good to be with you. Thanks for all the partnership and relationship you got supporting us and our customers. Keep bringing that new product to the field. We love it. It's a great partnership, man.
All right, man. Always a pleasure. We appreciate you guys.
All right, take care. Get you a haircut.
Not yet. Until the quarantine's over, buddy.
Right, that's right. Be careful. Just do a buzz cut. You'll be all right. I'll see you, man.
Let the thing go. Take it easy, buddy.
Bye.